Alright, what's up everybody? GMrDrew. Logging in. Gonna do some colored pencil work on, maybe finish up this one. I don't know if I'm gonna be adding any paints to it. Last time I just made a short video on how I kinda get my colors going and everything like that. And now that I got the colors I chose, I'm just going to just start throwing in some colored pencils. Gotta forgive my pencil sharpener. I've had this thing forever, my pencil sharpener. I actually feel like I got like super lucky on it because of how, I mean, I've been using it forever, and then also it's just always worked. It works 100% of the time, every time. It's never failed me. It's never not sharpened a pencil. Never gives me a bad result. It's just perfect. Trying to get my colors figured out. Now this set of orange that I'm going to be working on with right now, it's basically only for the headband, just because that's like a bright orange, you know, it's like very saturated and everything like that. So I figure with this one I'll be using like the very saturated oranges. Really, it's not much work. You know, if I didn't have all these layers already laid down from the previous mediums that I was using, watercolors, the markers and all that stuff, I'd be having to do a lot more work, but because there's already so much filled in, it's basically nothing. And again, colored pencils is the only thing that I work from darkest to lightest. Everything else I work from light to dark. And colored pencils was the first thing I learned, so it took me a while to try to get that in my head to work from light to dark, because in my head it always just made sense. Like I said, when I started studying tattoo and wanted to get into tattooing, I believe in tattooing the best way is to work from darkest to lightest as well. Obviously they start with black, and then the last color that they lay down is the white for the highlights and things like that. So it took me a long time to kind of wrap my head around that. Really all that these color pencils are really doing is kind of just smoothing everything out, making it all a little less crazy. And are a little more fine-tuned, I guess, because my watercolors are super loose and markers are so broad. Excuse me. Markers are so broad and static, you know, it's hard to get that fine gradation. So that's all I really do with the colored pencils, is I just kind of add to what's already there and just smoothen it out. Smoothing it out. Get a little bit of a lighter orange. That headband's certainly looking more vibrant, and now just the lightest color is this yellow, and it's just there to really brighten it up. So any part that has any leftover white from the paper below underneath is just going to get all colored in. way it has less of a pale look and more of a full, vibrant look. And because it's the last color for this set, you can kind of just go over the whole thing, not really have to worry about nothing. Alright, that's the headband color. I don't know if you're going to be able to see any difference now, because there wasn't much. But it's just a headband, and everything else is going to smooth out. Now if I had done all this with just color pencils and I hadn't used anything else, man, it'd be so much more work. I'd still be working on just like the face mask portion of the headband or something, you know. Alright, let me see. Now I have a second set of orange to yellow colors, but they're all a little bit more neutral tones. And these are going to be used for all the other orange pieces. The nunchucks, the one of his necklaces, the belt going, the yellow belt that he has going across his chest. So these are going to be a little less bright than the headband, but they'll still have that orange quality that, you know, kind of defines the character these days. I wonder if I could zoom in or something. It's such a small picture. That's as low as I can get my camera without actually unhooking it and playing around with it. And I don't know if I want to do that right now. It's Sunday, kind of just been kicking back. Still mulling over what I'm supposed to be doing with this car business. I had a friend come over last night. He explained to me, or suggested, or at least mentioned that I can go the scooter route, get myself a scooter, and then just rent a car whenever I need one to go around places. Like if I had to go to an event, I could just rent a car. I was like, that's not that bad of an idea. Renting a car is like $25 a day or something like that, and a scooter costs nothing, like gas wise and all that. So I was like, huh, that could be a route, and I could still take the bus, city bus, on any like rainy day or anything like that. Yeah, and I got the Walking Dead marathon playing in the background. I watch this thing every year. I don't know why. So I've seen, depending on however many seasons, I've seen them all that many times, you know. Are they going on season 5 now? So I've seen season 1 5 times and all that. Season 2. Season 2 is the one I miss most of the time, every time they play these reruns. Which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I kinda... That's when Shane was going off. So I kind of get bummed out every time I miss that episode. I'm like, ah, man, I missed the Shane part. But I think he's coming back as the Punisher for the Netflix Daredevil series. So that's pretty awesome. Well, I'll get to see Shane again. Here's the color I'm probably going to be using the most now. It's this Spanish gold color, or what's it called? Goldenrod. Yeah, it really has that more neutral tone to it. So that's like the highlight color of this portion. For these sets of colors, that's what I'm looking for. Probably use this color for the bandages as well. Because when this doesn't go on so light or so hard, and it's against the white background, it creates this nice pale color, which will work for these bandages. when it goes down hard, same color that I used for the pale wrappings around his wrist. I lay that same color down heavy, and I get this really nice neutral yellow brownish color that'll go well with the you know, the chest and the ab area, whatever that stomach plate is on the turtle is called, that thing. Shaded areas in. Another thing these colored pencils are doing is really tying everything in together. So that's cool. Color pencils, when used right, can also bring a lot of dimensionality to the picture as well. How's this look on the screen? Yeah, I've been messing with the settings on the camera some. It's looking a little more saturated than what I'm actually doing. You can see everything's kind of smoothening out. I haven't gotten to the skin yet, the green yet. Probably save that for last. I'm also going to start using this color for the shell. And since the shell has these gray markers in it, I'm getting this completely different look. That's another thing, when you're laying down colors in the beginning, you kind of got to plan ahead a little bit with the colors that you're using. I don't know if you remember, if you watched the marker video, I have a navy blue marker that I use, but I use it as a dark gray instead. Now that I have that navy blue in the darker areas of the gray on the shell, using this goldenrod color pencil color on top of that blue creates this really, because they're complementary colors, creates this really nice rich brown color, which is what I was looking for. And you know, the gray color with this color pencil, same thing. So you gotta keep in mind, you know, color theory and all that other stuff when you're going to color something in. I mean, it takes time. You gotta learn over time how things mix and all that other stuff, because you can hear it all day, but until you actually practice and try and really get used to it, it's all just a theory. How am I on time? 35 minutes? Alright. It's not bad. It'll probably take up the hour after I get like the skin done and everything like that, so I'm just guesstimating. Alright. Yeah, now it's the what's it called? Spanish orange. It's really like a yellow. I guess it's kind of named after like a Spanish tile or something. The clay tiles that they have on like rooftops. Maybe that's what it's named after. Either way. This is secondary color. All this stuff is again, the lighter the colors get, the more lucid you can be when coloring in, because the heavier, you know, the lighter color is not going to be able to pick up over the heavier colors. So when you're coloring over the darker colors, you're just filling in the bits, whatever bits in paper is left. You know, that's still colorable. faster it all goes as well. I got snacks falling off my fridge. There's a snack ghost in my place, in my studio. Last of it. Split this yellow color same way I used the yellow in the last set of orange colors, just to brighten it up. That's all I'm doing here. It's almost takes nothing at this point, just because so much has already gone in. There's basically nothing left to color. Now for the grays, gray should be quick too. There's not much. If this was a full body picture, it'd probably be a lot of gray in here, but since it's not, So what part of the marathon is it at? I think this is season 4, where the beginning of season 4, when the group is all broken up after the attack from the governor, and it's where Rick is cornered in the house full of those guys who end up finding Daryl, and Rick's just hiding for his life. Big old group of murderers in there. It's gotta be a crazy world, man. You know what I'll do? That's what I'll do. I'll add a little bit of blue after I get done with these grays. A little blue just to color it up a little bit. Now to add a little bit of gray to the shell. The shell's super vibrant now. Get any of the did I get any of the metal on the nunchucks? gray. Now, I doubt I can get any more color on this turtle shell. But I don't need to. I think that's it for my grays. I don't know. I'm just gonna accent these grays with a little bit of blue. Especially on the metallic portions. Alright, now down to the last bit is the skin. So I'll have you take a look at everything so far. Get a little close up. See how everything's a little bit smoother. You can't really pick out the roughness from the markers anymore. That's what the color pencils do. They just kind of smooth everything out. Now, to my favorite color, green. keep showing commercials for this Fear the Walking Dead show that they got coming up. I guess it's gonna be about like everything that went down in the beginning, like when the zombies first showed up. So it'll answer that question of while Rick was going through his 28 days later chapter in the first season, first episode. I guess this is kind of the answer of everything that kind of happened, which is cool. Everybody wants more Walking Dead. Maybe not everybody, but I'm sure most people do. And it gives a chance to tell other stories, you know. Like maybe they'll go back into some of the main characters' pasts and how the shit went down around them, kind of like what's their faces? The redheaded dude with the Mexican chick, and the genius dude who made the whole thing up to go to Washington. Whatever their names are, you know, like we didn't get any of their backstory really. They talked about it very shortly and in some episodes. You know, but they named off a bunch of people that they were with, and I'm guessing that I kind of heard that those were characters that were in the comic book as well. So, you know, it might be neat to kind of see what was going on wherever they came from, in Texas or whatever. And see the whole military fighting zombies. I don't know, you think about it, it's a much bigger production. Because you have the military involved, you have a bunch of people that aren't zombies still involved, you have the few zombies that are there. A lot of chaos. It's probably a bigger production. They probably needed to wait until they got the money to be able to make such a production, you know. But I don't know, we'll see. Next week, I guess, is when it premieres. Now, I think the regular Walking Dead show comes on after that. I don't know. This is that Daryl and Beth episode. Made everyone fall in love with Daryl and everyone want Beth. Rightfully so. Kinda got sad when they killed her character off, but then I was sitting there thinking, like, I wonder if it was like you know, one, they had to kill somebody. Two, if she was gonna go, that was gonna be the time for her to go. There's a big build up to it, you know. Couldn't have made all that build up and all that story, and then, you know, she loses at the end, and then it's like, well, now how do you kill her character off, you know? But I kind of had this theory that the best character, the actress, I don't know her name, but, you know, everyone was always like, yeah, she has this Disney princess look. She has this Disney princess look. You know, because she's tiny and big eyes, and, you know, if you ever see her on The Walking Dead, she's super hot. And it's like, I was like, yeah, I bet she probably has like all these contracts in the work of, probably with Disney, to play a princess, you know, to be a Cinderella, or to be a whatever their princesses' names are, Sleeping Beauty, either way. Definitely looks the role, and she could definitely act her ass off. Man, there's so many commercials. Thank God I got it on mute. That's why you can't hear anything. I usually mute the TV if I have it playing in the background whenever I'm recording. You know, just not to get all the sound mixed up. I'm sure you guys hear my AC blaring in the background. So, not to get the sounds all too crazy. But yeah, there's so many commercials, man. That's what sucks about still having just basic cable. I have an HD TV with HDMI hookup, and I still only have a standard cable. Comes with my studio. So if I had the choice, I wouldn't have it. You know, there's just so many online services, you don't really need cable anymore. But yeah, man, commercials and not being able to skip them, and this whole I have an HD TV that's HD capable, I have all the hookups to get it, and watching the standard definition, man, it's a big difference. It's annoying. some green. Really love Mikey's face and how it's coming along. Just has that wide smile. And I added dimples, and man, it's just adding so much more character to it. I'm not sure if Mikey actually has dimples or if it's possible for a mutant turtle to have dimples, but I did it. Whew. Man, when you're really pressing down on these pencils over a long time, man, I think it'd start to cramp your hand up. And I've been doing it forever, but it still happens to me. remember when I was a kid, there used to be days where I was coloring so much for so long that like my hand would literally cramp up in the position of holding something, so it would be like, and my hand would look like a claw or whatever. And yeah, man, doesn't happen anymore. I don't know if my hand got stronger, or my muscles just got used to you know, being worked in that position, but either way, still comes back from time to time. That's another thing with using paint and markers and stuff. No hand cramps. You know, there's no, well, maybe with painting, but as far as markers go, there's no really pressing down hard or pressing down light. There kind of is, but not like with colored pencils. Alright, almost done with this grain. Then I got the last light green layer to lay down, which again, the last color is always the fastest because you can be a lot more fluid and everything like that with it, plus most of the paper that you want to color is already colored in, so you don't need to spend so much time. Man, someone texted me a while ago. I need to go check that. Whoa. Man, I'm getting tired. Last green, this is apple green. Kind of has a lime quality to it. I may even want to put a little bit of like a lemon yellow on top of all this green on this skin just to brighten it up. Because that yellow marker that I have that I'm coloring over right now, I really like that color that I'm getting out of it. It's more of a skin tone quality to it. So I may just add a bit of that lemon yellow on top of this green. Now, anyone who's watched the last few videos knows I've been working on this picture. I mean, if it's an hour at a time, and I've, you know, four videos on it, from drawing it to inking it, to watercoloring it, to markering it, to color pencils. I'm already at an hour and a half. Wow. Knows that I probably spent about 6 hours on this picture, and this is only on a 6x4. This is what I'm talking about, getting faster. The 6x4 picture with all the hookups, you know, is about a 6-hour day. And if I were to add like acrylic paints to it, just to spice it up some, just to add some sort of element, whatever I could think of to it, you're talking about almost an 8-hour day. That's a full work day. And that was just on this small 6x4 picture. I remember I had this guy come up to me once at a convention, and he asked me, like, hey, if I wanted you to draw me as Dr. Strange, you know, full 11x17, all the details and colors, like the hookups, just like this, but 11x17 of Dr. Strange, looking like that guy, is like, how much? And I told him, like, yo, $100, because I knew what it was going to entail. And the guy just backed away. Was like, oh, no. And it's like, man, what do these people think? They think that these things just kind of happen. They think that it's like, just because I've been drawing forever and I make it look easy or something, that it actually is easy, or that it's even easy for me. Because it's not. I have fun with it, but every picture is a learning experience. So $100 for an 11x17, essentially, what, 4 times the size of this sheet of paper, perhaps? And this little bit of paper took me almost, you know, about 6 hours to do. So we're talking about a couple of days worth of work. And if I value myself at $100 a day, and it would have took me 2 days to work on that guy's picture, I'm cutting my price down at $100 for that sort of request. And people still back away. People are still like, ooh, no thank you. And I don't know, man, I don't get it. You end up with a dope piece of work, you get what you asked for, you pay for it, and after you pay for it, yeah, it's $100, I get it. It's a lot or whatever, maybe, for some people, but you have it for the rest of your life. That $100, you know, you're going to forget that you even spent it a month down the road, and then a month down the road you just have this dope piece of artwork hanging on your wall that you that you had custom made for you by a guy who enjoyed, you know, doing the picture. So I just don't know, man. I have this metallic silver. I try to stay away from using metallics, but after staying away for so long, I started asking myself, I was like, well, what could I use it for? And while I was working on this piece a bit ago, I told myself I can use it for like silver lining areas. Anything that's like metallic. And you know that saying, the silver lining in the clouds? That silver lining takes place right between the dark and the light. And I was like, alright, well, let me try, maybe that's how you apply metallic color pencils. Just put it in the silver lining area and the metallic areas, right where the dark meets the light. You don't have to go crazy. Just a little something, so that when you're looking at the picture at a certain angle, you see a little shimmer of light. So, just trying that out. Because I don't want to neglect the metallic pencils. They look good when you use them on like a dark sheet of paper, like if you have a black paper or something. Gold and silver look beautiful on it. But maybe I want to do more. And figure out when I can actually use them. Alright, does that do it? Do I want to apply any blue to the background at all? Like in this spot? Just to kind of help. See, the thing with this background, because I'm coloring on straight white paper, it's going to take a little bit more effort to make this look good. Can't be so lucid. Whew. Alright, there we go. I don't wanna add anything to it. Do I want to use any white marker? I also have these metallic silver pens that I never use, silver and gold. Maybe just even less than I use the silver colored pencil. Just hit certain areas. That now to get the white to highlight these areas. Okay. Now this is what I got. Here we are, almost 2 hours of colored pencils. Mikey is slightly, not even slightly, he's really less rough. Now it's time for me to sign this sucker and say goodbye to it. The hard goodbye. Where to sign. Today's date, August 16th, 2015. Hit it with the stamp. Let the world know. That this one's truly mine. Another thing, when stamping your artwork with this Chinese red ink that they use to stamp their art with, it's always nice to have a piece of cardboard underneath the paper. That way it's a soft surface. That way the stamp really sinks in. Because you do it against a hard surface, you're not going to get it. Bam. The deed's been done. That's it. I wish I can, if I was like editing this stuff, I could show you like beginning, middle, and end. But if anything, you can just jump on my Instagram and that'll show you everything. So yeah, about 6 hours of work or so. And fruits of the labor. Alright, this is GMrDrew. Thank you for watching.